Okay, hello, good evening, everyone, and we are live. Okay, so right now we are just waiting for. Okay, just see who else is in the live. We have Raihana here. We have Ken, Dustin. Oh, Jeff just joined. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna invite Jeff. Jeff, can you maybe you can send. All right, so hello, Shelly. Waiting for Jeff to send me a request. But let's see, I think I can actually, no, no request from him. Okay, let's see, invite him. All right, let's see. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear my voice? Hi, Farah, good to see you. All right, is my audio okay, guys? Okay, so I'm just gonna wait a bit because I understand that. Yes, okay, that's great. Because
Hey,
it's
hey.
there he
Hey.
is. Okay, I'm just gonna adjust my video for a while because I realize it's pointing down. Okay, so hi, good morning everyone, and welcome to tonight's live session. It's today for Jeff. Okay, so allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ridwan. I'm a network marketing professional for 11 years now. I'm actively building in 12 countries, and what do? I help other network marketing professionals build international organizations. But tonight it's not about me because we have our special guest on board. Oh, he he left. Okay, so our special guest tonight will be Jeff Altgilbers, but I think there's something wrong with his connection, and he just left. So I'm just going to try to find him again and see if I can find him. Let's see, Jeff. Okay, right. Hi, Amy. Okay, so maybe if you guys can just share with me, like, where are you tuning in from? Like, which country and maybe which state? Okay, I'm gonna. So Jeff just requested again, so I'm gonna accept him again. Where are you guys from? Okay, so he's back on. Hi again, Jeff.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, loud and clear,
Okay,
Jeff.
very good.
Okay. All
Very
right.
good.
So, guys, so we have our special guest tonight. He's none other than Mr. Jeff Altgilbers. You know, he's from Tennessee, USA, and he's a veteran in the network marketing industry with over 30 years of experience. And currently, he holds a top pin in a fast-growing global company called For Life Research. And his network spans over 56 countries with hundreds and thousands of affiliates all around the world. And you know, if you just want to make a guess, how much is the current turnover for his network now? It is over 200 million US dollars a year, guys. So, you know, considering that, you know, he started from nothing, this is a true tale of rags to riches. And we are very fortunate and very lucky to have him today with us. Okay, and he's going to share more about his journey. And definitely we can take home some pointers from the session today. Okay, so he looks like he's adjusting. Jeff, hi.
Yeah, because the sun
Yeah,
now in the winter, it's funny how the sun, it's a whole different angle now, the way it comes down in, to the house and it was just way too bright. It was just I'm like, I said, really? Yeah.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah.
good to be here.
First of all, we just want to say thank you for waking up so early to be with
Oh,
us.
all
It's
right.
8 a.m.,
It's,
right? In Tennessee.
yeah, yeah, but that's okay. It's yeah. I don't need as much sleep. I'm not as young as you.
All right. So, guys, Jeff, we have viewers right now from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Philippines, and even from Indonesia as well. They have been saying hello to you in the comment section.
Yeah, it's nice to see. Oh, where's the Bears? They're they're right outside. Believe me, they're saying, "Oh man, he's probably on a Zoom again, man. Let's disable his wife." You know, there's bear conspiracies going on.
Yeah, yeah, but actually, Jeff, how many bears do you have staying behind in your backyard?
Well,
How many
that's a
bears are
good
there?
question. it's a good question. We have one we call Teddy Bear. He's about
Okay.
about 400 pounds, 500 pounds. He's a big bear. So he likes to sort of dominate, you know. He's
Mm,
definitely a male chauvinist, okay? So the
mm.
female bears hate him. Anyway, but so we got him. We got some younger bears that come around, some mothers with cubs. And yeah, I remember last year going in my backyard just throwing out sunflower seeds and apples. I had 14
Mm.
bears around. Yeah.
14 bears around. Yeah. Well, great that you can be living with bears there. Okay,
Well,
so
the
Jeff,
key thing,
now that
I was going to say the key thing is don't run out of sunflower seeds or apples, because then I'm going to be on the menu.
well, hopefully not. Yeah, yeah, we'll send you more seeds and sunflower seeds. All right. So Jeff, good that you're here. So maybe first of all, we start by asking you some questions for this special interview. So maybe number one, maybe if you can tell us a bit on your background and what you're doing before you become massively successful in network marketing.
So I started close to 42 years ago, and so back then it was just I didn't understand it. Matter of fact, you didn't call it network marketing because that expression didn't happen until after the internet. Um, so at that time it was called multi-level marketing, and the concept of team building was not. I wasn't educated with that. That was still sort of new. So it was more of a product focus, selling products, and
Mm,
because it was pre-internet, pre-personal computer, pre-cell phone, pre-FedEx, pre-UPS. I mean, it's pre-everything. My son, when I tell him this, he said, "Yeah, Daddy, but you had Wi-Fi, right?" He doesn't get that kind of world, you know. And
mm,
so when people ask the question, is network marketing hard? I'm like, hard? Let's go back 42 years ago. Let me explain to you how we did it. So, but anyway, so it was just one of those things that I liked it. Didn't consider myself good at it. It was
mm,
a hobby. I was a hobbyist,
mm,
and I was that way for about, I don't know, 14, 15 years. And
mm.
and I had at that time I had developed a cleaning business.
Cleaning
So,
business.
that's right. And mostly we took care of floor maintenance for stores, for large department stores, large grocery stores. So I had employees, and
Mm,
when they didn't show up for work, I rolled out. That might be 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever, you know. And so that's the way it was. And so for years I had that. At the same time, I listened to cassette tapes. If any of you don't know what cassette tapes are, just Google it. Anyway, cassette tapes of Conant Nightingale, um, different mentors of Tony Robbins back then. And I used to
mm.
listen to those, driving at night, going to a job. And my wife would always say, "Why are you listening to those cassettes? How's that going to help you clean a floor better?" And I don't know. It just makes me feel better when I listen to them.
Mm,
And and so I would, Jim Rohn, actually some of Jim Rohn mentors, Earl Shaw back then I used to listen to. And so anyway, I used to think about my life like, so, I thought, okay, I got a business here. I got money coming in. It's good. It's fine. It was good. And at the same time, I love network marketing. I had an office. I treated network marketing like a business. I wasn't a warm market person.
mm.
So I never wasn't warm. So when it says no friends left to the NFL club, it wasn't that I didn't have friends. I didn't want my friends in my business with me.
Mm.
I was looking for someone else, but I would run ads in the newspaper and to get people down to the office at that time. At that time, that would be in the 1980s. And I would just
1980s. Okay.
run, yeah, 1980s. I'd run curiosity ads, have them come down to the office. My goal was, number one, get the phone to ring. Number two, set the appointment. Number three,
Mm,
put them in the business. It wasn't
mm,
complicated for me. But I'd run a
mm,
curiosity ad, say, "Hey, what is this about?" And I would say, "Oh, yeah, good question. It's hard to explain over the phone. I really need to do this in person." So I've got a 10 o'clock available. I've got a 1 o'clock available, and I'll even be at the office at 7. Which of the three would work for you?
Yeah. So
And that
so
was,
you did all this while having your conventional business.
yeah, well, I had my business. And so some people say, well, 10 o'clock will work. I say, great. Or 1 o'clock or 7. And then I would book multiple people at different times. So when they came to the office, I would tell some of the leaders, okay, we got these people coming in. Here's their names. I need your help. Okay. I'll do the presentation. And then when the people sat down and listened to me, they throw rocks at me, right? So, kill him. We thought this was a job, you know? Anyway. But anyway, it worked for you. So that was my approach back then. I liked it. I liked connecting with people. I liked meeting cool people. So I liked network marketing, but again, I was a hobbyist. And so in the 1980s, that was we were selling water filters.
Water filters.
That was the new thing. You know, you just take a water filter in, sit it on somebody's sink, hook it up, say, hey, make your coffee, you know, use that water for your coffee, your tea, or for just drinking water. And without chlorine, you'll like the difference. We called that the puppy dog approach. Give somebody a puppy and they'll never give it back to you. And so go back a week later, get the check, right? $179. Yes. That's what it was. But when we brought leaders in, they always came in with a $5,000 package. You know, when I hear people making a big deal about $200 today, I'm like, what? What? Really? You know, back then, you know, I mean, I came in at $25,000. That was how many products I bought. And so anyway, so I ran my network marketing business from an office in a city. And then finally what happened was, again, my money's coming from my traditional business and I have employees. And then my 2 major accounts decide to save money that year. And they decide they're going to cut my services and go in-house. And that was it. So after 13 years, it was bye-bye, you know. And so I had nothing coming in. And that's when I did a reality check, you know, with myself. And I learned what Douglas MacArthur, a World War II general, once said. He was the one that accepted Japan's surrender. He said, on the earth, there is no security. There's only opportunity. And so and that was, realized there is no security. I've been living in a false world. And I said, okay, so then there's, like he said, there's only opportunity. That means you got to hustle. And you got to find something. And because no bank's going to loan me money, I went into bankruptcy. And so I just, of course, I was like depressed. For 1 year, I felt sorry for myself and just kept thinking about what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then I thought, what is wrong with you, man? You've been telling everybody for years network marketing is the thing to do. Why don't you live your message? Commit this time and go find a company. And so I went to look for a company. I answered 100 ads in a newspaper. 100 ads. Now, that USA Today. That back then, a lot of networkers put their ads in the newspaper. So I answered 100 ads, and only 10 sent me a package. Now, that's what we did back then, okay? You would mail somebody because, you know, we didn't have, you know, really much of an internet then. And so they would mail a package. Only 10 mailed me a package. Out of the 10, I saw one that interested me. And this was in March of 1993. March of 1993. So I put this video in, and it was all these different people gave their experiences of how they used to be fat, and they were crying on the video, and now they're not fat no more. I mean, this is a stupid video. Okay, but if the product works, I'm interested in this. Because I wanted to lose some weight at the time. And so that's what, so I thought, okay. And so in that package was included a application. And this woman had all her information. And I'm supposed to just fill out my part, send it in, and that's it. I thought, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to see if she calls me. Because she has my phone number. So if she doesn't call me, if she can't follow up, she can't follow through. That means she's a lousy sponsor. So I thought, I am not doing this. And so I waited a week. And then after that week, she did not call me. I'm still waiting for her to call me. And, you know, so so this is back in March of 1993. I called that company and I said, give me the phone number of your top income earner. And then I called him and I said, hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna make your day today. Of course, I'm as broke as can be, right? Anyway, I said, I'm gonna make your day today. I said, I'm going to come in your company and be under you. And he said, well, thanks, but I'm not really taking anybody front line now. And I said, oh, too bad for you then. All the money you're gonna lose. And he said, okay, I'll take you front line. and that
Good
was
choice.
that was how we began. And keep in mind, I was by no means an expert. I'm still trying to figure this out. The downside to the water filter business, what it was in the 1980s, was it wasn't residual, because once I sold it, that was good for 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I learned a lesson out of that. Find products that people consume and use every day.
Yes. Highly consumable.
Highly consumable, most important. And so when I joined this company now, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do? Who am I going to start with? And matter of fact, I did not have, when I told this guy that I was going to, when he said, okay, I'll let you come frontline to me, I didn't have any money to get started.
Oh.
So I didn't have any money to get started. And I thought, man, he's not going to take me serious. And I don't get an order in. I've got to get started. And then I thought, what am I going to do? I don't have any money.
Yeah.
And so I sat on my porch one day just thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I looked out my driveway and saw the only thing left from my bankrupt cleaning business was a junk truck. And I said,
a junk truck?
A junk truck. The engine didn't work. The tire was flat. I kept the window rolled down for the neighborhood cat. And I said, that's it. That's my ticket out of here. The junk truck. And most people, if you know what was going on in my head, they think, well, that guy needs some serious help. He needs a therapist, you know. So I called the junkyard. I said, could we come out here and tell me what you'll give me? And he came out and he said, I'll give you $400. I said, take it. And I put $200 into groceries, and I put $200 into products, and I got started. And that was how I started. Yeah.
And that was how you started.
That was how I started. That was day one. Day one. Yeah. I made a list.
So hang in there, Jeff. So you were, from the story you were telling me just now, so you held on to your traditional business for 13 years, and only after you went bankrupt, then you began to look at network marketing seriously. That's how you, all right, okay, great. And in order for you to do that, you had to sell your junk truck to get involved.
That's right.
Okay, great, exactly. Interesting.
And so I didn't have, like I said, again, that's just the beginning. So I'm making a list, and then making some phone calls. But actually, I couldn't afford a phone bill, so my sponsor sent me a cell phone, and I didn't get reception. I didn't get reception where I lived, so I drove up in the hills of Tennessee. Literally remember the first day of doing that. When I went up there, I opened up a pasture gate, drove into the field, closed the gate so the cows wouldn't get out. And I got my hood, I got my notes out on the hood of the truck, and I started making phone calls. And people would say, what's that I'm hearing in the background? I'm hearing cows. and I said, oh, yeah, right. Well, I'm out in the country, I love coming out here. It's so beautiful. It's so spiritual. And will this Saturday at 10 o'clock be okay with you?
Do you practice your pitch on the cows as well?
Hey, I always said, I will do this business even in a cornfield if people will show up, or cows. But
amazing.
And so that was the thing, getting started. And like I said, I was behind paying the bank on my truck. I was behind on paying on my utilities. I can remember one day getting a knock at the door, and the man from the utilities department said, "Hey, sir, I'm here to get a check, or I have to cut off your water and electricity." And I said, right, okay, let's go out to my truck. I got my checkbook out there, and I'll give you a check. And he said, that's fine. And what I didn't know was the bank had come and repossessed my truck that morning.
Oh, that
So
morning itself.
that morning. So when I walked
Okay.
out to the driveway with him, it wasn't there. And I
Mm.
looked at him. I said, "Where's my truck?" Like he would know. Like he would know, right? I said, "It was here last night." And he said, "Sir, you look like a man with problems." And he cut off my electricity and my water. And then
Mm.
this old man, Wally Wagner,
Mm.
this old man in his 80s who had followed me from in my other network marketing company,
Mm.
gave me some money to get my utilities back on, and he gave me a car that looked like it had been in his family 4 generations. It did have a little paint left on it.
That's interesting.
And that was how I went out and I would meet with people.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and so that it wasn't, I can tell you that it wasn't not easy at all. Because even at
Mm.
that time, I remember when I had to go to Ohio to do a meeting, and so it was about an 8-hour drive from where I lived, and I had the oil change,
Mm.
and I had a downline growing by that time, because I'd been doing meetings, and sometimes when I drove to do a meeting, I didn't have the gas money to get back home. I'd have to borrow it from the person who was
Mm.
hosting the meeting. But now I had some income finally coming in, and I'm
Mm.
driving to Ohio to do this meeting
Mm.
in this not so nice car anyway. But what I didn't know, when the guy changed the oil, he didn't tighten down the filter cap, the oil filter cap,
Yep.
but the oil was spewing out.
Ah.
And when I'm
Oh
driving
dear.
when I'm driving up the highway, I'm thinking, wow, this is finally coming together. I got a team growing now. I got some money coming in. My dreams are finally
Mm.
come true.
Mm.
And then boom, boom, bam, bam, I'm on the side of the road with
Mm.
a locked up engine.
Mm.
And so I get out on the interstate and I do this. I don't know if they do that in Singapore, Malaysia. And I thumb a ride from a trucker.
You
And he
hitchhike,
drops,
right? Yeah.
yeah, he just picks me up and drops me off at an exit. And I call my dad, and I said, "Hey, I need to get a car right away. I got a meeting I've got to do tonight." I explained what happened to him.
Mm.
I remember his next words to me were, "Son, I think it's about time you get a job."
Oh.
So I was like, the last thing I want to do is lose face with my father.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
and so I did get a car. I did get to the meeting. And when I finally got back home, I remember walking into my house, and my friend was with me, and there was 100 messages from my creditors, and they all
Mm.
wanted their money. Anyway, I looked at that, and my friend said, "Wow, 100 messages. What will you do?"
Mm.
And I said, "I'll ship you." And I walked up and I unplugged it, and I plugged it back in. I said, "Wow, look at that. It went back to zero."
Mm.
But I'd say the turning point was this, that I learned from the days when I used to listen to Nightingale and Conant, the mentors of Jim
Yeah.
Rohn. Jim Rohn.
Timber.
And so now I was listening to Tony Robbins, this hotshot young man,
At
and
that time, young man.
yeah, young man, personal development coach.
Mm.
And I had a chance to tell this story to Tony Robbins right before the
Mm.
pandemic began. It was
Mm.
amazing. We had a moment, we had a hug, and I said, "I got to tell you something. You absolutely changed my life." And then I went right into it. I said, 28 years ago, which now will be almost 29, but
Oh, that's amazing.
I said 28 years ago I was bankrupt, broke, and then I was listening to your cassettes, Personal Power. Today you can get that on YouTube. Personal
Mm.
Power Day 1, Personal Power
Personal
Day
power.
2, and all the way to there's 30 videos on YouTube. You can listen to it for free. Back then it cost you $179. And so anyway, but I would listen to those cassettes, and then I would go into the rich neighborhood where the rich people live every Sunday, and I walk around and I just do a mindset thing. And I walk around and look at these beautiful houses, and I would say to myself, yes, this is the way it's going to be. And this is the way my life is going to turn out. That
Mm.
house, one with the pillars. Yeah,
Mm.
I'm going to have a house like that.
Mm.
Rose gardens, those perennial gardens. I'm
Mm.
a gardener too.
Mm.
That Mercedes in the driveway. Yeah, I'm going to put a BMW next to it.
Mm.
And I would do that every Sunday, Sunday. And I just, every day I'm listening to Tony Robbins, getting the
Mm.
crap out of my head and getting
Mm.
the right psychology in my head every
Mm.
Sunday. And in 18 months, literally in 18 months, I was moving into a beautiful historic home. It was built in 1860. It had the pillars out front, and yes, the gardens came. And
Oh, that's just amazing.
so in
Yeah.
18
Yeah.
months, so I went from
Yeah.
bankrupt to a full-time professional in network marketing. After
Mm.
that day, I never, never, never looked back. I kept going.
Mm.
I kept going.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful story you're sharing there. Right.
So I told
But
that to Tony. I told that to Tony, and I said, "And Tony, I went off and made 36 million."
mm.
And he looked at me and he smiled. He said, "Man, but you did it. You did it."
Mm.
It was a powerful moment, considering the fact he's got a lot of bodyguards around him. You can't get very close to him. It's not easy. You know.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty powerful moment, and I'll never forget it.
Yeah. Well, that's just amazing, Jeff, to hear that. But what got me what I noticed just now is that when you were going out to view the houses, you were doing all this, even though at the same time you are having all these problems with the creditors going after you, but you still find the time to visualize your dreams, and I think that's just really amazing. Yeah, and after 18 months, you move into one of those houses. Oh, just absolutely beautiful. Great. What a story. But is this particular company that you are speaking of, is it for life at that time?
No,
The one
no.
you, oh,
So
oh,
because I'm
so
with
that's not
four,
in for life yet. Yeah,
I was with For Life 22 years. It's
22
20
years.
signed. It
Mm.
was a company called Enrich.
Which is Unicity now.
It's Unicity now. That's right.
Mm.
So
Okay,
I joined that company when I joined Enrich, there was already 200,000 distributors in the company,
I
and
see.
I went to the top 10 in that
Wow,
company.
wow, this is amazing. So why did you, from Enrich, why did you go over to For Life
Okay, so
in the place? Yeah.
yeah. So that was the other thing too, because when I lost my business, Tony Robbins always says, when something bad happens, ask yourself, what's good about this?
Mm.
And the first inclination is going to be, nothing is good about this, you know. But when I lost my business, that's the way I felt. Like the whole world fell apart. Nothing is good. This is horrible. I can't believe this happened to me. But it was the best thing that happened to me because it made me take network marketing serious. Now, I'm not saying that anybody here that's
Mm.
listening that you got to quit your job, or if you have a job, that's a bad thing, or if you have a business, that's a bad thing. I'm saying I
Mm.
needed to push myself, and my circumstances was pushing myself to take it
Mm.
serious. So that was the thing, and but finally, and so it was the best thing that ever happened to me, losing that business. It forced me to take network marketing serious. And then when I got in that company, and then I just told you my story, and
Mm.
I had a home there for 6 years.
Mm.
Owner sold the company, and
Oh.
these new owners came in, and they were going to motivate us. They decided to
Oh.
double the qualifications in the compensation plan.
Oh.
It was a stair-step breakaway
Shucks.
plan already.
Mm.
So, and stair-step breakaways were not too popular by that time. And
Mm.
so, and so when that happened, I thought, this is the worst thing that could happen to me. Back again. I'm back here again. And so I was just upset about the whole thing. And then I thought, okay, what are you going to do? I mean, you've gotten this far. And then, but I'll have to say that my confidence in network marketing was shaken quite a bit. And so I went in search for a company, and I just looked at all these different companies, and I just said to myself, this is the same as the other company, herbs,
Mm.
vitamins, minerals, you know, and
Jungle
then
juice.
jungle juices, and then finally I don't know, I was bitter about what happened with the company, these new people coming in, and it was horrible what they were doing. And I thought, it's life. It's just life. There's no guarantees about anything. Really, there isn't. But
Mm.
you just have to make a better judgment calls about what kind of company you're going to go with.
Mm.
And so that's what I did. By that time, I had talked to a lot of different people in different companies and saw what was happening in their companies. And I thought really it comes down to four things when you look for a network marketing company.
Four things. Okay.
Who are the people? Number one, who are the people?
Okay.
Is there any dirt on these people? Have they ever had a company before that they did what I was going through to their people? Things like
the owners of the company.
Yeah, have they been sued? Were they successful? What's their background? And then second, so the people, who are they? Do some research. The product, is it a commodity, or is it something you can find with just about any company out there? Or
is it something which is unique?
It's got to be unique.
Yeah.
And it can't be jungle juice. I mean, it's got to be real. Okay, so it can't be one of those things. We got this product, we found it in the Himalayas. The people there, they lived to be 400 years old, man. And we just happened just to get enough supply here that now we can make this opportunity available. And then finds out they're lying. The story was a lie. Anyway, so make sure the product is real and it's unique. And then three, compensation plan. Is it set up for the many or for the few? Is it just going to be a small percentage that's really going to make the big money, or is it really an open playing field for anybody? So compensation plan, and then the fourth would be the team support. Are you going to get the support you need? And and does that team, do they have tools and things like that so that you can come in and build a business? But those are the four areas I look for. And so, but anyway, so I get this phone call from a guy that actually, after my water filter business, I was briefly in another business. And I said, I'll give it 1 year. And if I don't have, and again, it was another direct sales gig. And that's, but an executive from that company teamed up with a man by the name of David Lisenby, the owner of 4Life. And he called me and left me a message on my answering machine at home. He said, hey, this is Paul Ulrich. He said, I don't know what you've been doing. It's been a long time, Jeff. He said, but I'm working with this guy. His name's Dave Lisenby. And keep in mind, Dave Lisenby used to be the vice president of Enrich.
Yes.
So he said, I'm working with Dave Lisenby, and we got this product called Transfer Factor. You ought to look at it. And I thought, I'm not going to look at anything you got. And so I didn't even call him back. But then I had some other people calling me about Transfer Factor, just some women telling me they had some health challenges. And they weren't really trying to recruit me. They were just talking to me about it. And I said, okay. What is it doing for you? And then finally, then I heard this one friend of mine. He's a young hippie kid. We never worked together in a company before. I heard he joined. I called him. I said, Mark, I hear you're going into 4Life. Are you doing 4Life? He said, yeah, I'm going to do it. You want to do it? No. I said, what is it, man? The product's got a weird name. Transfer Factor? What is that? He said, I don't know. I just joined yesterday. I said, okay. He said, but here's a phone number you can call. The doctor's got a recorded message. And he explains it in 3 minutes. And I said, okay. So I called that number and I listened to it where Dr. Rob Robertson explained Transfer Factor. I never heard anything like that in my life. And I said, wow, this is powerful if it's true. And so I called Mark back. I said, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Mark, the hippie kid, you mean?
Yeah, the hippie kid. And I said, this is exactly what I'm looking for. And he said, so you're ready to get started? No. Let me do something. I'm going to paint my house. House was built in 1860, right? So
yes.
I did. It is a big house. So I whether it needed paint or not didn't matter. I needed therapy. So painting was therapy. So I go out there and just start painting the house. And I'm painting the house and I'm thinking, I hate network marketing. All these companies are dogs. These owners ruin everything we build. I hate it. Now that's really positive stuff. So anyway, and I did that for a little while. In the meantime, Mark works with this guy named Dave. And so he says to Dave, he says, Dave, you follow him up, you sponsor him, okay? So Dave he'll call me and said, hey, you ready to get started? No, I'm painting my house. Well, how long are you going to be painting it? Dave, it's a big house. And every time he called me, I'd always say that. And he went to Mark and said, I don't think he's going to do it. He said, no. He's just pissed off. Give him some time. He's just angry over what happened. And so finally he called me right before New Year's Eve.
This is Dave Daughtry, eh?
Yeah, Dave Daughtry.
Okay.
So he calls me before New Year's. I joined in the month of December, by the way. So when you think you can't recruit good people in December, you can. Okay. So he calls me up New Year's and he said, Jeff, he said, are you ready to get started? And I said, Dave, it's like this. Tonight, I'm going to go out and I'm going to think and I'm going to drink. And tomorrow, I'm going to get started. And that's what I did. And then I remember the next day going up the stairs to my room where my drum set was. That was my working space in that room. I closed the door and I thought, oh, I can't believe I'm going to do this. Oh, God, help me. I need a therapist. I need help. I can't believe I'm going to do this all over again. Because my unicity downlight had already scattered. They went different. So I had to start all over again. Ground zero. So I got out my list, dusted it off, and I called people that I tried to reach before who either weren't interested in what I was talking about then, or were too busy, or were hard to get, or were hard to convince. That's where I started. And that was it. And I got started. And I just made a goal. I said, I'm going to do a 90-day push. 90 days. I'm going to go from 8 to faint. 8 in the morning till I faint at night. I'm going to work until I just crash.
8 till faint.
I'm going to do it for 90 days. Lose my mind for 90 days. And I thought, I'm not going to go out. And this is interesting because this was a self-imposed lockdown that I did. People wonder about the pandemic. What can you get done? This is what I did 22 years ago. And the reason is because, again, technology always dictates our methods of how we do things, like what we're doing now. So conference calling was really big. And so we had the Transfer Factory hotline that explained the product, and then conference calling where we had our meetings. People would share their stories, their product stories. So that was it. I thought instead of driving all over the United States and Canada doing meetings, what I'll do is I'll just do it from home. I never did that before, ever. And so that's exactly what I did. And so I'm going to hit it hard for 90 days. I'm not going to go out and present to anybody. I'm not going to do a single meeting. I'm not going to leave my driveway. Okay. And in 90 days, I had a team of 800 people.
Wow. 800 in 90 days.
800 in 90 days. That forever changed my life. Because what I'm experiencing now, 22 years later, is a result of what I did then. When people ask me, well, how much did you make your first month? My answer is, I don't know. I'm still making it.
Good answer.
Thinking about it. You take all the money that I've made in For Life and divide it into months, it continues to appreciate every month.
Yes.
So even though back then it only been a couple $100 first month, I can remember my wife saying to me, opportunity. Well, at least we can go to dinner.
But Jeff, can we just maybe backtrack a bit? Because there are thousands of network marketing companies around the world. In the US, there are thousands. And you had some bad experiences with some companies. So why did you choose For Life as your final vehicle?
Again, I knew David Lisenby.
Because you knew David Lisenby, okay.
I didn't know him that well.
Okay.
He was vice president of Enrich. I didn't know him that well. But I had a good sense about him, his family life, his character. So he's not a dishonest person. He's not going to take shortcuts. He's not going to intentionally hurt people or unintentionally even. You know, he's just not that kind of guy. Number two, again, going back to my four, because that's my criteria. Number two was the product. The product was very important, because I remember when I looked at Transfer Factor, and actually I was leaning toward another company before I met Forob, because again, I was looking at it. I've got good friends in Young Living Essential Oils, and so I knew Gary Young, the owner.
Gary Young, yes.
Mary, his wife, I knew them. And but you know, good company, good products, good people, but they had they have all these oils. You know, it's like, okay, what is your flagship product? Nobody can be an expert in 100 products, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't have a flagship. And then I thought, okay, so I thought, and I told the upline in that company, I said, listen, guys, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to go with 4 Life, because this is not a hobby to me anymore. I cannot afford a mistake. I cannot afford a mistake. And I said, so I've got to make the right call. And and when I get to the end of the year, I got to look back and say it was a year well spent. Exactly what happened. So going back to 4 Life's product, Transfer Factor, it's not an herb, it's not a vitamin, it's not a mineral. It's an immune messenger molecule that educates the immune system. Never saw anything like that.
So it's really unique, right?
Yeah, the science behind, and it made sense, because when women give birth, the very first meal a baby experiences is from her breast.
Yes.
So from that milk, she's going to transfer her immunity to that new life. And that was God's way of protecting life as it comes in this world, to educate a newborn's immune system. And it works for animals just the same. But to educate that newborn's immune system and get them ready for the world of threats that they're going to be involved in. And when we look at this pandemic, what we've been through, there's so much focus on the media on the fact that people need strong immune systems. So I never believed we'd have a pandemic, but I can tell you, 22 years ago, Dr. Rob Robertson said that. He said the question, it's not a question of if, it's when.
Yes.
It's when we're going to have this pandemic. And I thought, yeah, okay. Anyway, but realistically, when we think about what's killing people, it's not the pandemic, it's all the other things: cancer, diabetes, heart disease, things like that. And so the thing is, at that time, that's what I was looking at. How do we ward off acute disease? Because we've had these, these other products, for many years, but we still have so much of this, so much disease. And I thought, this is the missing piece: educating the immune system. And we only had one product back then, by the way, just one product, and that was it: Transfer Factor Classic.
Classic, yeah.
And that's how we got started. So product is most important. Third, compensation plan.
Yeah. About that, Jeff, because you were saying that certain comp-plans, whether it's made for the little or for the many, maybe you can elaborate more on that based on your experience.
Yeah, 22 years ago, I go back to, again, when we got started, and we did 3 conference calls a day: morning, afternoon, evening. David Lisenby would get on a lot of those calls. But I can always remember back then, based on 100 points, what we call 100 points. For you friends or any of you new people, basically, it's just over $100. But I can remember him always saying, enroll 2, who enroll 2, if you go no further than that, your products are free. Enroll 3,
I don't understand.
Like if you enroll 2,
enroll 2, okay.
Yeah, enroll 2, who enroll 2, if you go no further than that, your products are free. Enroll 3, who enroll 3, your products are free, and you're making a couple of $100. Enroll 6, if you go no further than that, you're making $1,000 a month. So just ask yourself, anybody out there wants to live longer, live healthier, slow down the aging process? Do you know anybody like that? If you do, introduce it to them. That's all you got to do. And so he had a way, without going into any details, he didn't explain the compensation plan. He explained the activity and the results you get. And so people don't understand compensation plans. They look very difficult when they look at them. But if you explain what people want to know is, what do I got to do to make money?
Yes.
That's it. And once they start making money, then they want to understand the compensation plan.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so going back to that, the fact that they pay, the company pays out so much money, 64% in the compensation plan, really puts a lot of money in people's pockets. And so that's been my experience. There's been over 100 millionaires in my team, in my
over 100 millionaires.
Over 100 millionaires since we started that journey in For Life. So compensation plan is very important.
All right, great. So actually, Jeff, why should anyone consider starting a For Life business today? As in right today, because we have some viewers who are who are not in For Life yet. They are new and they are viewing this live for the first time. So why should they even consider starting a network marketing business opposed to a traditional business today?
Well, or even having a job for that matter. And there's nothing wrong, again, for those of you that have jobs in businesses. Okay, we're not knocking that, right? So we're talking. I mean, I've been on both ends. My father always said I was unemployable. Just, I guess.
And why is that?
Well, I guess he thought I just didn't like being told what to do. I had a very independent, nature, and I have a 13-year-old son here at the house, and he's just like me. And I just pray to God. This is my father's revenge. All the trouble I gave my father, now he's giving to me. He's just as independent as I was. Anyway, but anyway, so I've matter of fact, when I went to the university, when I got out of high school, I what do I do with this stuff? This isn't me, learning all this stuff. Anyway, so I had a teacher. That was my son who went by. Anyway, I had a teacher that took me aside one day. He said, "Jeff, what do you want to be? You're some kind of leader, but what?" I said, "What do you want to do with yourself?" I said, "I have no idea." I didn't know. But going back to that, why For Life? Why do a business like this? And again, when I ran a business, it was a lot of trouble. I had a lot of money coming in, a lot of money coming out. You look at the pandemic right now, what business owners have gone through that have brick and mortar businesses. They're asking the question, do I want to sign another lease on this building, considering the lockdowns? Would I want to? So there's been so much shakeup. People that had secure businesses, they were making a lot of money. Now their life is, insecure because of government lockdowns that we've seen going around the world.
Yeah.
So everything that before that was so predictable and so normal, now we have nothing but uncertainty when it comes to business. But back then, with me, it was just hiring, firing people, and when they don't show up, I roll out. And I can remember when I asked myself, what do you want to do? I don't want to be in business again. I don't want employees. I don't want to be. On the other hand, I don't want a job either. So okay, let's do it. Let's do network marketing. So here's the thing, and this is the other thing that we all have to realize. Try to forecast your life. And I'm trying to, when I joined For Life 22 years ago, I would have been in my 40s. So I thought, okay, where do you want to be when you're 60 or 65? So in 2 months, I'll be 66. 66 in January. People are very surprised by that. They'll say, well, you don't look 66. I said, well, I've been on my product for a long time. It's a great anti-aging product. So, but anyway, so the thing is forecasting your future. So I asked myself that question. what is your life going to look like in 20 years? Or what do you
Mm.
want it? Are you going to be struggling? Are you going to have poor health? Are you going to, have a family and with children that, you're just, life is very difficult? Or are you going to have an inspiring life, a great family life? What
Mm.
kind of life do you want? And so when you think about that, and I think pain motivates us more than pleasure,
Pain.
because Tony teaches this, right?
Mm.
That I can explain to somebody, you know, look at this beautiful house, you can have it. Look at this Ferrari, you can have it. This is network marketing.
Mm.
No, that doesn't motivate people so much. What motivates people is think about your future now. How much money do you have saved?
Mm.
Is it enough? If
Mm.
you lost your job or your business, would you have money right now to sustain you for years?
Mm.
Think about it. And then based on where you are now, look at 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. Where are you going to be? Do you see that changing? And many people say, well, I don't really see it changing.
Mm.
Well, how does that feel? Well, it doesn't feel good.
Mm.
How long do you not want to feel good? So we have to forecast our life and see ourselves and then stay in that moment. Stay in that long enough where we hate it, where we hate that life. When you try to explain to children why you can't send them to a university or we got to live in a neighborhood we don't want to live in, or when we can't take a vacation, we can't do anything. We just don't have anything. Stay in that moment long enough until you hate it. And that right there will be what we call a breakthrough. A breakthrough. When you have that breakthrough and you say, you know what, I'm going to do this. I am going to do this. And so why do network marketing? Well, because we can only trade time for money for so long. And then what happens is age catches up, circumstances catch up. You can't trade time for money. And that's inevitable. That will happen. Or you might get in an accident, you can't work anymore. So are they going to, the company you work for going to send you money? No, they're not going to send you money. And so now a family, or if you have a family member that has a health crisis, what are you going to do? So I think about these possibility thinking, and again, putting myself as projecting the future, saying, do you like that? No, I don't. Okay, do something about it now. Don't wait until, I'm not going to wait until 65. Say, what kind of a life do you want now? I needed to think, and that's what I did 22 years ago. So why do For Life? I didn't want to just be in a network marketing company, because what I have observed with most leaders in the United States, because a lot of these companies come out of the United States, not all, but a lot do, is that they move around. I've got friends who, it's like I go to Eric Worre's Go Pro. I've spoken at his events, and people will come up to me, you've been in a company over 20 years. How do you do that? I say, really easy. Don't quit. Don't quit. And so, but most of them move around. And I'm thinking, wow, this is really, this is why I'm in For Life. I don't want to move around. I don't want to look for another company. I want to be in a company that I can take, use the skill set of working and just build a business, And so, but why do that? So I'm glad I did that, because again, 22 years ago, I can remember saying to myself, this is the kind of product, referring to transfer factor, that people 20 years from today will still buy. They will come back. And I was right. I was very correct. And so that's what I've seen today. And I've seen that with many of my leaders, including yourself, that people have continued to come back. And so, matter of fact, I got my brother who's an engineer, and he's never liked network marketing. I can remember when he came and saw this house. We moved back. We used to live overseas, and when we moved back to the United States 13 years ago, bought this place and all that. He came over one day, and he looked at the house, and he said, "Where did you get all this money? And I just busted out laughing. I said, brother, it's from people consuming products. That's it. People consume products. I get paid. It's residual. It's residual. When people say, well, how long is it going to last? Well, I don't know. How long does it have to last? So far, I'm going 22 years now. Amway's been around a half century. So, living off residual income. And so it's great because when you live off residual income, that means then, excuse me, that means you have time to do the things that you want to do in life.
That's right.
If you're always working and always hustling in your business, excuse me, it's like being on a hamster wheel in a cage. You're running like a hamster. I'm gonna drink something.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying just now that when you go to these Eric Worre talks, there are some leaders there who keep on jumping companies, right? And actually, that's very common because we see a lot of that, even in this region, in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia. We see them in a company, and then in another 3 years, they're in another company, another 2 years, another company. But what we are seeing in For Life is that the leaders will stay throughout the years. They build for over 10 years, 20 years. Yeah. So I guess, maybe the problem was maybe they didn't pick a company with the right factors, like you mentioned just now. The right owners, the right products, and because of that, they have to keep jumping. And
that's right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I spoke to a friend the other day. No, she jumped. She just jumped. And the company, because I thought she would stay with them. Nope, she moved it, and the company she went to is like a no big deal company, and I was like, okay. And anyway, people have different reasons why they do what they do. But again, I would say that the one thing that we are all convinced on is that, and again, going through this pandemic, and I saw what we did with our product during the pandemic. How many people we helped in this area is amazing. It's like, I mean, myself, I never got COVID, never did. And I've been around several that had it. I'm always dodging bullets, right? But but I helped a lot of people who did because they were just sent back home. They just say, oh, you got COVID, go back home. That's your healthcare plan. Go back home. Really?
Go back home.
Yeah, go back home. So then I'd say, hey, listen, I'm coming to your house. Get ready. And then I bring them out the products, and then I'd say, okay. And I'd send them a text message. This is the protocol. This is what you need to follow. You'll be fine. And that's what we saw. So again, I'd say that's the one thing that all of us leaders are very, very convinced on. We're convinced on the science. We're convinced on the results. We're convinced on the value of what we promote. We're proud of what we promote. We believe in what we promote. And so 22 years later, I still do. And so I've just had some friends here just recently that in my childhood, and she had, very, severe acute disease anyway, but got her on the products. She's doing so much better. Very happy. I love what we do because it's about impact before income. Impact people's life in a good way, and then the income will always follow. And I think that's what's happening with most of the leaders.
Yeah, and that's a very good point. Impact the people, and the income will follow.
Absolutely. And the mission never was the commission. The mission never the commission. The mission was let's help people to live longer, live healthier, and have the kind of freedom and life. And that was, to me, For Life was the life, because it was the kind of life that you want to have. And now that I've been with my kids and all that, all these years, I've been home. I haven't been an absent father like many fathers have. Some have to work and some have to stay away. I remember just real quick having a conversation when people asked me, well, how do you explain this opportunity? I said, well, I don't know. It just depends on how how I feel at the moment. You know,
Mm.
I do it in different ways. But I remember talking to three men when I was at a hotel one night at a lounge, and I was
Mm.
watching. And during the commercial break, there were three men sitting with me.
Mm.
And so I asked one, I said, well, what do you do? And he says,
Mm.
well, he explained he works for this corporate company, and they sent him up there. And the other guy said the same thing. Third guy said the same thing, said, well, my son's playing ball this week, and I wish I could be there, but I had to be up here. I said,
Mm.
yeah. And they said,
Mm.
what do you do? And I said, yeah, good question. It's like this. I was introduced to a product. I like that product very much.
Mm.
And it's, if you go to the website, you can enroll and become a member and get it at wholesale
Mm.
instead of paying retail and save yourself money. And I said, well, okay, well, that made sense to me. And that's what I did. And then they said
Mm.
to me, and if you introduce it to anyone else, like we introduced it to you,
Mm.
anytime they order, you get paid on their orders. And very quickly, you're going to see that it's going to equal out what you're paying out for your products. So
That easy.
you're getting your products for free. And I
Yeah.
said, oh, okay. And then they said, and anybody that they introduce it to, when they order, you get paid on them as well. And I looked at those men and I said, and you know what? Ever since then, I've lived off residual income and I've never needed a job.
Mm.
And all three looked at me like they were shocked. And one man said, well, I want to know about that. And the other man said, yeah, I want to. The third man said, yeah, I want to know. They said, do you have a card? I said, no, but are you in Facebook? They said, yeah, let's add one another now. I'll send you a link. I'll follow up later. Okay.
So just because of that one line that you mentioned, I've lived on residual income, I've never had a job. Okay, great.
So I did not even mention network marketing. I didn't say I'm in network marketing. I didn't say I'm in For Life. I didn't say we got this system product. It's unbelievable. It will educate your immune system, empower your immune system. You'll be, didn't do any of that. I didn't talk about my product. I didn't talk. And matter of fact, I said, and ever since then, I've lived off residual income and I've never needed a job. That's the punchline. And I never said how much money I made. They're sitting with a multi-millionaire, but I will never say what I make. Okay. Because first of all, they wouldn't believe it. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I said, I live off, ever since then, I've lived off residual income. I've never needed a job. They don't know whether I'm making $2,000 a month, $20,000 a month, 200,000. They don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get them to do is I want the defense shield to go down, and I want them to listen to me. I want them to be open. If I can get them open, I can get them on the playing field.
Yes.
And I know that. So I want to say, are you open to the concept of residual income? And if they are open to that, then that is a prospect. And that's a person I want to work with. So when I talk about this, I talk about it in that sense because a lot of people don't understand network marketing. They don't understand it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that, Jeff. So that's a powerful punchline that we can all use. I've lived on residual income and I've never needed a job. Okay, we can all use that now.
And it's funny. I remember one time I was getting a massage before the pandemic. When I went in and lay down, the therapist comes in to give me a massage. She said, so what do you do? And then I just reached around and I hit my on button. And I said, yeah, that's a real good question. I was introduced to a product. I liked it very much. And I went on. That's it. I never vary from those lines. And I stick with it every time. And it works every time for me.
I see.
I want to know about that. What you did.
Great. Thanks for sharing that, Jeff. Yeah. So lastly, we have seen that For Life has been breaking the sales records like year after year. Even during the pandemic, they are doing so great, and they've been in over 95 countries now. But do you think it's too late for anyone to start a For Life business now?
Oh, no. As even though we've had just what you said is true, breaking sales records, we're still a small company. Okay, we're not an Amway, Herbalife, New Skin. We're not that big yet. Okay, So first of all, if you consider the fact that we don't have any platinums or golds in Japan and Taiwan,
Mm,
and you know, when if you look at India, for example, recently we had a gold,
mm,
okay, but I'm just saying, but all these countries all around the
mm,
world,
mm.
even here in America, oh my gosh, if I was to go around here and start talking to people, you ever heard of For Life Research? Nobody's heard of this. Matter of fact, the number two trainer in the United States, network marketing trainer, his name is Ray Higdon. Okay,
Reagan,
and
yes.
yeah, Ray
Mm,
Higdon. When I had lunch with Ray Higdon 3 years ago, he said to me, "What company are you?" And I said, "For Life." He said, "Never heard of it." And I laughed. And he said, "So what's your goal?" And I said, "To change that."
mm,
Yeah. So the thing about it is, um, I'd say that some people ask that, then why are you still, not like an Amway yet or new? It takes time. Those companies didn't become giants overnight. It
yeah,
takes time. And the same
yes.
thing with For Life now. What's great about For Life is that when we started in the United States has so many people that live here from different countries. So then they
Yeah.
would ship the products back to their relatives and friends in other countries. So we have a world presence, but not world penetration. We have
Mm,
all the attractiveness of a
mm,
ground floor opportunity with
mm,
none of the risk.
mm. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When people are, the thing is, a lot of people look for ground floor opportunity, new company starts. Let me tell you, I've been in so many ground floor opportunities that never got off the ground. I was in
Mm,
several network marketing companies that launched,
mm,
and that was it. They're gone.
mm,
I mean, I've got pins, trophies,
mm,
rank positions
mm,
for companies that no longer exist.
mm.
I've got.
Yeah.
So the thing is, why For Life is because again,
Mm,
those four areas I talked about was
mm,
most important.
mm,
Before you join a company, know what you're doing, and get beyond the hype because they're going to blow
mm,
smoke in your face.
mm,
And so just evaluate the facts, and that's
mm,
what I did. And when I did that, then I
mm,
said, okay, this is a solid company to build a
mm,
future. Just like some of
mm,
the other companies. Why is Amway still around today? Why is
mm,
Newskin? Why is Herbalife still around
mm,
today? Well,
mm,
because they had good corporate
mm,
leadership. They had good
mm.
foundation. Same thing with For Life. It has all of that, but and it's like a ground floor opportunity with none of the risks. That's what I
Yeah,
tell them.
yeah. So in other words, this is the right moment to actually work the for life business because the infrastructure is ready. It's
Yeah,
they have physical offices in all these countries. They have the online system, the my shop system. So now is actually the best time to start. Yeah.
absolutely. Because
Okay.
you can build anywhere. You're not limited to just the country that you're in.
Yes. Seamless. Yeah.
Yes, a seamless compensation.
Mm. All right. Okay. Great. Thanks for sharing all of that, Jeff. Yeah. So I guess we are nearing to the end of the our live session.
Oh
Again,
no,
we will.
nobody wants to quit, man. You got 205 people here. They don't quit.
Okay. Yeah. We have comments going on from just now. Just that we haven't been able to read them. So maybe if anyone want to ask some questions, maybe for our special guest tonight, you can do so right now. I understand there is a lag of maybe 30 seconds. After you type the question, and after 30 seconds, we'll be able to read. Oh, we have Mr. Johan from Indonesia. Thank you, Mr. Jeff, Mr. Ridwan. My auntie Sherry is here. Now is always the right time.
Uh-oh,
Right.
Sherry's here. There
Yeah,
you go. What?
Sherry's here. Yeah, Sherry's here. My dad Sadik is here. Basically, the whole
Oh,
Fala
so
family is here.
I'm
All our
guessing your dad
friends.
with a cowboy hat.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tell us about your new place, the one that you just got renovated. Is it in Tennessee as well?
Oh, it's right down below me here.
Oh,
I
just
mean,
down
I
the
could
road.
walk out on my deck and look down at that property.
Okay, yeah,
So
it
that,
looks really beautiful. I mean, from
oh,
the photos that you shared, yeah.
it is an incredible property, incredible property.
Mm,
So some people wonder why during the pandemic is like a hobby to me, right?
mm,
So since I can't travel and so that's one of my hobbies, taking a beautiful property and making it incredible. What's nice about it is I can use that after, traditionally after the convention that we have in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Leaders will come over here to our mountain and spend 5 days.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
we go out and do something different every day. And then we come back to my house. We have a party, karaoke on the band stage in my game room. And so we have fun for 5 days. So now I have properties I can also put them in.
Great. So there are 216 of us here. All of us will be going over there. Hey, just give me a second. Just my son.
Oh, that's fine.
All right. So, this is a question from my dad, Sadik. How many platinums do you have in your organization, Jeff?
Oh,
you've lost count.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the majority.
It's the majority.
There's only a few that are not.
Yeah. I guess it's the majority, right? So from the Spanish markets, all that. Yeah. Okay. From Nadia here. Show us your home. I'm not sure if you can. Yeah, show the home. I'm not sure if you can do that.
It's a big house. So, but and we got 3 different floors. So on this floor, by the way, this is like a bar area for, see all those football helmets. Those are for major teams.
Okay.
But then going in here is
well, show us the view.
So here is just the hallway that connects to the other part of the house. And let's see, this is the stage.
Wow, that's where you have the instruments, the drums and the guitars and all that.
Yeah, that's where the leaders will come here and they'll sing on stage, and if they play an instrument, great. And it's sort of bright right now, the sun, but this is the game room.
Wow, check out that view.
And the kitchen. We have 4 kitchens in this house.
Oh, wow, 4 kitchens.
So that's the number 3 kitchen. And so we can go out and see if you can see the mountains. The sun is sort of, the winter sun now is.
The Smoky Mountains.
You can see you see that very clearly?
Yes, the Smoky Mountains. Wow. It's winter now, right?
It's just going into winter now.
Going to winter. Oh, that's just beautiful, Jeff.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and I'll show you below this is the guest rooms and a theater.
Okay. Is that a waterfall?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, this house is quite large. So we have a lot of parties here, and then so we'll put the leaders up after convention. So if some of you can come, you're invited. But after convention, they'll come here. We'll pick them up at the airport. We'll put them up in cabins, and then we'll have 5 days of incredible fun. This is this area right here. This is like the number. This is the top four. There's top 4 destinations in the United States for vacationing.
Wow, amazing!
And this is one of them. And in the top 4, it's listed. So there's a lot to do here, and people have a great time here. So after convention, I think we're going to have convention next year in October. It's beautiful because this area, the leaves will be changing. It'll be the autumn, fall season. You'll see the wildlife, the bears, everything. I mean, just everything is so beautiful here. Here, I think we're going to have the biggest. This will be the biggest amount of people coming here than any time before. Because people are ready to travel. It's like post-pandemic trauma, you know. They're ready to get out. They're ready to go. They're ready to go. And so they're going to come to Salt Lake. Leaders are going to, and I tell anybody it's in For Life, work hard. You got 10 months. You got a window of 10 months. Work hard, qualify for the promotions, come over to Utah, envision how you want to see yourself going across that stage, or what rank. Envision yourself standing on that stage, looking out at 10,000 people that's cheering you on, and you're saying, by golly, I did it, I did it. And then after that, envision coming over here from convention, and for 5 days hanging out with cool people. We're not doing any trainings, okay? We're just having fun, that's all. And you're going to be put up in a beautiful property, because there's all kinds of beautiful properties. But the houses that I purchased and I renovated, they're incredible properties. The one that you just saw on Facebook, you go to the Facebook page and you see it. That's an incredible property. I just love that house. So it's a hobby of mine. You know, what I tell people in network marketing, you build your network marketing business and you have cash flow coming in. Then you can also invest in other things that do what? Create more residual income.
Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Get multiple streams of residual income. And that's what I do with properties. I don't spend a lot of time on it now, but I mean, you know, but on that house I did spend some time. But the problem was all the contractors was giving COVID to one another, and I'm right in the middle of the wall. You know, and I never got it, but I'm just like, anyway, it worked out. We finally got it finished, even though it was weeks behind. And so now, matter of fact, VRBO, or, you know, if you're familiar with VRBO, it's like Airbnb. So it's like, yeah, they even called my assistant the other day saying, we want to know why you guys always get 5 stars. From all the people that stay there, why, how do you do that? And it was so funny. She called me yesterday and told me that. I just laughed when I heard that. But anyway, so when the leaders come here, they'll be in a 5-star properties.
Amazing.
And it costs them nothing. You just got to show up.
Sure. So we get to stay for free.
Yeah, that's it. And every day we got a plan. So we have a big theme. We have a big theme park here. It's a smaller version of Disney, but a big thing at Dollywood. It's called Dollywood.
The one that you shared, yes, I think a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
Dollywood.
So
yes,
that's right. That's right. So Dolly Parton, who's a very famous country music artist, it's her theme park. And then we have Dixie Stampede, a horse dinner stadium, where you'll see incredible entertainment from just very talented people. There's just a lot to do here. There's the Biltmore Castle that was built in 1895 here in the mountains by one of the richest families in American history. It was finished in 1895. There's the Titanic Museum. The first guy to go down and excavate the Titanic. He has a house here. He has a Titanic museum here.
Interesting.
There's a lot of interesting things to do here. And matter of fact, I've lived here 13 years and I haven't seen it all. So, and then of course the national park, you go into the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. That's the most visited national park. Matter of fact, when I took you out on the deck and you saw those mountains, that's what you were looking at.
Yeah, Smoky Mountains, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So we bring leaders here and have just incredible memories. And then after that, they can go off and go New York City or go anywhere else they want to go to see what they want to see. But when they go back home after convention of next year, they're going to truly feel like they are a network marketing professional, because they're going to, right now, or for the next 10 months, they're going to really push so that they go to convention and recognize for the leader that they truly are. And that's what I tell all the leaders to do. This is the time. If there was a time, you got 10 months, let's do it. Let's really do it. And so anyway, but that's, you know, some people might think, well, when you get to, you know, like myself, I've been in 22 years with For Life, you know, why do you still do this? Why do you still, you know, do you have to do that? No, I don't have to. I don't have to. It's because I want to. I mean, when the company came out with a new rank position called Platinum Elite, my first reaction is, oh my gosh, why did they do that? You know, that was my first reaction. And then I thought to myself, okay, They created it. I'm gonna have to break it. And that was, so I thought, okay, I'm just gonna show that a 65-year-old guy has still got some fight in him, right? So, and then I reached out to Sherry Din, and of course, Sadik Din as well, by extension, of course, all you leaders that are in For Life. Nobody does it alone. There are no supermen, superwomen. We are just people. That's it. And we just work together, and we all raise one another up. And that's the thing. So my goal is always to help others to achieve the kind of success that I've achieved, if that's their goal. And if it's not, that's okay too. If it's just maintaining where they're at and they're perfectly happy, then that's my goal too. So, and that's it. For Life is about having life, having the kind of life you've inspired to live, and then helping others to do the same.
All right. Thank you so much, Jeff, for your beautiful message, for your encouragement, for your motivation, and for your time today, especially for all of us. We really appreciate. Hopefully we can do more of this in the next few weeks or so.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, there's still 192 of us watching this live.
Wow, there's still a way, man. Congratulations, everybody.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much. Thank you for waking up early. I'm not sure whether you've had your breakfast yet. No breakfast yet.
But that's okay. I don't wake up hungry. I never do. So it's fine. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about going to the gym. So if you come to my house after convention, you'll see I got a gym 3 floors down. Anyway, but I love my gym. So.
Okay. So thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you. If there's no obstacles whatsoever, we look forward to seeing you in Utah and of course in Tennessee.
Yeah, right. Bring your guitar.
Bring my guitar. But you have so many guitars there. Why can't I just borrow one of yours?
Well, I just thought you might be, I don't know. That looked like a nice flat top guitar you got back there.
No, this is a normal acoustic guitar. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think your guitars are more expensive.
Have you ever played a Taylor acoustic?
No, Taylor, no. You got
Taylor.
a Taylor?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't play it. I have it in a case here on the stage. So I got great instruments, but I'm a drummer. So.
Yeah, but thanks for telling us the location so we know where to look for it and keep it in the luggage. Okay, so again, from all of us in Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, and I believe there are some members from Philippines too as well. Just now, from all of us, thank you so much again for your time, for your motivation, and we look forward to seeing you again.
Okay, thanks everyone. See you, everybody. Love all of you guys.
Bye-bye.
Love all of you. Bye-bye.